everyone, I'm Rebecca Jarvis. Happy Friday. Welcome to Real Biz. We're coming to you this week from my office, and I'm about to take off on a shoot. But first, take a look at this conversation I had earlier in the week with the Sharks. We have Daymond John and Mark Cuban, and then do we have Mr. Wonderful on the line? There's Mr. Wonderful! Kevin O'Leary. Kevin, are you following this countdown clock, or are the numbers too big for you?
Wow. No, I'm following it. Don't worry, I don't miss a thing.
We're having so much fun already.
Before we had Kevin on, but let's go.
We have a little game called Shark Tank Secrets. First question, who's lost the most money on a single Shark Tank investment? Daymond. Kevin.
No.
Mark. How would that be? Which?
Sorry. There you go. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, Mark.
Oh.
So you both think it's Mark. Tell me, what's the investment?
So it's all crap that he buys.
It's the only one Kevin and I did together. Toy Guru. That was the only one.
Is that it, Kevin?
Yeah, Toy Guru is a dog.
We took it out behind the barn and shot it, didn't we?
How much money did you lose?
$100,000 each.
$100,000 each. That's
And
not a
actually,
good one.
The crazy part is, I came on as a guest shark. It was the very first deal I ever did, and I did it with Kevin. I'll let you take it from there.
What is the investment where you made the most money?
Oh my goodness, I've got so many of them.
Yes.
I guess Red Dress. I just saw Red Dress's numbers, and they're up to 15 million in sales this year and a couple $1 million in profits.
Yeah.
So.
Mine
Daymond?
is Al Bubba Baker's boneless ribs. Very hard to say. They're selling 25,000 a minute on QVC. We believe that over the next 2 years we'll probably do about 200 million.
25,000 ribs in a minute?
$25,000 worth of ribs per minute on QVC, and then we believe that we'll get it to 200 million over the next 2 years.
Kevin, is everything okay where you are? I'm hearing some sirens back there.
Yes, it's just ringing because I have the siren special. I'm the only guy that's sold a company so far. $14.5 million Groove Book selling that to Shutterfly. So I think that was a cool
And the sirens were looking for him to pay the taxes on that, but he still hasn't.
Which one of you is the highest maintenance? Oh, wow. Kevin!
Kevin!
No. Both of you are saying Kevin.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, he talks about this wine membership that he has where they all shine
The
these little
Testament?
wine, they shine these little wine cups. He wants a mint on his pillow wherever he sleeps. I mean, the
What?
guy.
Oh, he's got to have people following him around. He's got this little guy named Alex that just follows him around everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
Little
he
guy
has a
named
hairstylist.
Alex.
He has a hairstylist. He has no hair, so you know that this guy is bad.
Kevin, who's this little guy named Alex in your life?
Listen, everybody has an Alex. Alex actually gets the hard work done. You know, one of the things about Shark Tank is we all have dozens of companies now. And Alex runs O'Leary Ventures, so he actually stays in touch, does a lot of the background work. He's doing a great job for me. Wonderful
love
guy.
Alex.
We do.
And,
love
you know,
Alex.
there's a reason they call me Mr. Wonderful, because I am wonderful. It's true.
Who talks the most? Daymond? No.
No, I think me probably.
Mark said, okay, so everybody's in agreement here on Mark.
No,
Kevin.
I have Kevin.
Well, okay, you think Kevin. Why
Yeah.
do you think Kevin, Daymond?
Because he does. He always has something to say, even, you're not supposed to say things when it's not nice, but he says it anyway. And then he always is trying to find out how to get a royalty, so he's just always talking.
Who spends the most time in hair and makeup?
Here.
Nobody here. I don't have any hair.
No. I show up. Okay, so what people don't know, so the way it works is we go on set and we start shooting what time? 8:30?
Yeah.
And they just bring deal after deal after deal. We don't shoot episodes. We just shoot one deal after the next.
Yeah.
And the deals go anywhere from 30 minutes to 2.5 hours, right? But Kevin showed, what time do you show up, Kevin, before we have to be on set? How long before? Like 3 hours before? So you can
3
get ready?
hours?
No, I look, you know, Mark, you got to tell the truth. The reason you're there so early is you actually don't have any hair. You look like me. All that stuff is put on in makeup.
It's coming off, right?
Yeah, but Mark never wants to
painted
wear a suit, so we have to wrestle him down every morning to put on the suit, and then his hair gets messed up.
I show up 3 minutes before. I run into my trailer. I put on the same clothes I put on every episode. Run to hair and makeup. They touch me up, and then I'm on. These guys, Kevin takes 4 hours of makeup to fix that mug.
Barbara gets in the night before.
Yeah, and Lori too.
Okay, we can't talk about any of the sharks who aren't here.
Oh, yes, we will.
In fairness.
Oh, yes, we will.
We're not fair.
We don't need to be fair.
Kevin?
Well, it's true. Barbara's there now for next season. They're starting to work on it now.
Oh, dear. I want to talk about pre-show rituals because you were telling me that you guys have something. What do you guys do ahead of the show? That's what you do.
So we go all the way down the line.
Pass it down the road.
And come back, yeah. So
I love
before
that.
the start of the day, we give a little bump, pound it out, and then the producer, Clay, comes around and gives us a woohoo and a pound, and so every day before we start the show.
And how about the song? You were telling me there's a song you all sing. Kevin, do you think you could sing the song for us?
I say a hip,
Hop.
a hippie to the...
Pivot.
Come on, Kev. Don't
Yeah, that's
stop
pretty
rocking
bad.
to the
Don't give up
bang,
your
bang
day.
boogie. Say up, chuck the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie and beat.
Thank you.
Next
what
one of mine is my man Hank.
Come on, Hank, sing my song. Check it out. I'm built to pip.
The ladies pimp.
The women fight for my delight because I'm the grandmaster with the 3 MCs that shock the house for the young ladies. And when you come and find and
You
do
do
the
the
bump,
bump.
you do the beat.
And you
There
do the
go.
bump.
You guys, I want to go to some Twitter questions because a lot of people have been asking us a lot of questions for you guys. And Kyle Elias asks, what do they actually write down in their notepads? This is what everyone wants to know. You all have those notepads every show.
I write down what I can say to nail Kevin. No, no, literally when they walk in, we know nothing about them except their first name. And so we have to, what's the deal, 10% for $100,000. And then as they start talking, we have to
Write down their names, what's good or bad about the company, percentage-wise, what I'm going to have for lunch. I mean, all that.
So here's another secret, right? So there's times when they walk in, right, and you're thinking there's no way.
Yeah.
Right? No way. And so you kind of tone out a little bit. You're thinking there's no chance. Then all of a sudden they say something that gets your interest. You're like, what was the deal?
What was that name again?
Yeah, what was their deal? It was like 20% for how much?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the hardest part about Shark Tank, going out.
Because you're looking at only the 4 or 8 minutes, but sometimes we're there 2 hours on a pitch. They're on the
hours.
average about 45 minutes, I say, a pitch.
Yeah, 45 to an hour, yeah.
And so you're going to forget it after 45 minutes of seeing 9 people that day straight.
Have any of you ever apologized afterwards? Because some of these, you're with the contestants, you could say some pretty, I guess, mean, nasty things to them about their companies.
Hey, I'm only going to say something mean if I think they're scams. Right?
Okay.
If they're scams, I will torch them.
We never see them again, usually, but I did apologize for one person. I was really, really mean to a woman because her husband didn't come on the show, and I found out that he just didn't have clearance. And later on,
yeah.
but it looked like he just said, "Go ahead, honey. I don't want you to know about what I do." You know.
Right?
PA Computer Guy asks, what is the least fun thing about being on Shark Tank?
Sitting next to Kevin, I would say.
The hardest part probably is when, like I said, there's a deal. There's just no chance, right? There's just something and you have to sit there and pretend you're paying attention and.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that
Pretend you're paying attention.
Yeah,
so that
because
happens.
if you're really going to be out, but you still have to listen. If Barbara, of course, who buys everything, she's going to keep asking questions. You're going to be like, Barbara, just let him go. Please, just let him go.
Sure, just let's get on to the next deal. So so that happens lots of times where it'll be, not a lot, but every now and then be like, shut up, let's get this over with. Shut up, let's get you're not doing anything. Everybody's out, let's go.
Let's move on.
Yeah, or that's the only time maybe where we're mean, where we'll say, everybody's out.
Yeah, well, see you later.
Good luck.
They won't leave.
Do you ever store up responses? Like, do you have comebacks that you're waiting to
I
use?
I have a whole list of them because I forget them.
That's what's on your
I hear
notepad.
that's underneath my notepad when I go, oh, this is perfect. Oh,
He
yeah.
writes down all his lines.
Yeah.
All of them.
I run that ahead of time. I never get to go back to them, but when I remember, I go, oh, I did use that one.
Guess who's back?
Bummer.
Kevin. Kevin is back again. Tell a
Yes,
friend.
he's back.
Kevin, I kind of want you to respond to this next Twitter question because we got it from Terry Oldman, and he said Cuban should run for president. What do you think about that?
I think he should do that. There's no question about it. And while he's at it, I think about it this way. Mark's a very opinionated guy. He might make a great president. We already know right now there's all kinds of non-conforming people not outside of Washington getting a lot of traction. So maybe if you think about Mark versus Trump, that should be one heck of a show. I'd like to see that.
Because he's Canadian and he can't vote.
Mark, would you ever do it?
No, because my kids are too young and it'd take too much time away.
What about when they're older?
Maybe. Yeah, we'll look at it.
Really?
Yeah, maybe. But my oldest is only 12, so we got a lot. My youngest is 6, so we got a lot of time.
So what do you have, like 18 years to make a decision?
Yeah, I got plenty of time, right?
Good deal. Chelsea Moreland asks, how do you take some of the ridiculous ideas seriously and question as if you would be making a deal?
you know, they're not. There's nothing ridiculous. If you look
can
at
never be
08,
sure.
yeah, you look at 08, somebody said, I'm going to take a blanket and cut 2 holes in it and call it a Snuggie. We would say that's crazy. Right?
And plus, you want to respect the entrepreneurs. There's somebody who put their whole life into this. They've come all the way to LA and they're laying it all on the line. And so if they've got the guts to do that, you want to respect it.
Yeah.
Kevin, that's a great point, though. You have no idea.
No idea.
Well, you know, earlier you talked about that little piece of crap sponge. I thought that was garbage, and look at it, it's huge. So I have a lot of respect now because the Shark Tank platform is a massive consumer platform. So just because you don't like a product doesn't mean the market doesn't like it. And I've learned to respect people's ideas because you never know what's going to work. We've been amazed at the things that have gone on to Shark Tank and just blown up huge.
Yeah, squatty potty and all those type of things. Yeah.
Well, my favorite thing that has
How
blown
about that
up...
thing that you train a cat? You remember that product that you put a cat on and
Yeah.
teach it how to go
Yeah,
in
you
your
put a cat
bathroom?
on to go to the bathroom. The cat sits there on the toilet, and you got to wait till it's done.
Like that movie.
Sold a lot, yeah.
Right?
Perfect. Ready for some rapid fire questions?
Yep, I'm
Kevin,
ready.
you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I'm going to start with you, Kevin. What's been your biggest money mistake in life?
Not listening to what my stomach said about a deal and going against it was the way I lost the most money. You've got to listen to your intuition. It's telling you something. That's your combined experience being your friend. And when you don't listen to it, you always lose money.
Do you remember a time where you didn't listen to your gut, and how much did you lose?
I lost about $250,000 putting more dollars behind a deal I knew was bad. And that's a mistake you learn, and you try and only do that once. And I remember exactly what happened. And now when I teach young cohorts, I spend a lot of time teaching young engineers. I try to turn them into entrepreneurs. I give them that example. I say, you gotta listen to your gut. If you're an entrepreneur, you'll know when it's right and you'll know when it's wrong.
Guys, biggest money mistake?
Lots of them. Lots of them. I don't mind making mistakes. You know, I'll learn from them. As long as my wins are big wins, and you know, that's happened a few times, and my losses aren't too bad. But a perfect example, the guy who started Uber, Travis, I funded his last company. And so he came to me and said, look, I'm doing this thing called Uber Cab. Do you want to get involved? I'm like, yeah, you know, you got to worry about this, this, and this. Let's discuss it. By the time I was ready to discuss, he'd already found other people to invest. So that was probably my biggest miss.
Yeah, mine's pretty similar to Kevin's theory of trusting your gut. I lost $6 million in a deal called Heatherette. I also came out with Fubu Records and lost about $3 million. But more importantly, I thought that I can just hire the right people, and they were anybody, and I didn't need to roll up my sleeves and really take a look under the hood. And once you do that, everybody you hire as a salesperson, the person they're selling is you.
Yep.
You know, I need another check. I need to do this. We need to do this. So those are the 2 mistakes that I made. And now I've learned that money doesn't solve it all. You have to roll up your sleeves no matter what.
Absolutely, and that applies to everything in life, in my opinion.
Everything.
Sure does.
Complete this sentence, Daymond. You should never waste your money on.
Never waste your money on buying a bunch of people you think can do something.
No, that's an easy one. So credit cards. If you have credit card debt, you don't want to be rich, right? Because you're just getting dinged for 18% all the time and you're falling further behind. So that's always, if you're starting a company, swag. Do you ever wear swag that people give you? People give you swag all the time too, right? This t-shirt, that polo. That stuff always gets thrown away.
But I'm saying the same thing in regards to when you start a company. Don't go and hire a PR person and hire.
Right.
You're the person. Don't think, oh, you know what? I have some money. I'm going to spend $100,000. One of the main reasons that small businesses fail is overfunding. Actually, they go and take out too much on credit cards in their house, and they don't roll up their sleeves and get into the business because they hire people who are just they think gonna do it better than them, and nobody's going to do it better than you. All right,
Absolutely.
listen. You need to hire a heart surgeon. I get that. Don't try to do that yourself. But other than that, do it yourself.
Yeah.
Kevin, what do you think people shouldn't be wasting their money on?
Every time you try and think about when you buy something, that's taking cash that you can't get back. And what I found is people buy about 33% of the stuff they buy all day they don't need. Look in your closet, all the shoes you never wear, all the suits that are hanging up you haven't worn in years. There's a lot of junk you don't need. And I really find that if you question yourself just before you pick it up, say, do I really need this? The answer, 2/3 of the time or half the time, is no. And that's one of the best ways to save money when you're young is don't spend it. Just park it somewhere, let it accrue. That's what I'm all about. I tell people, look, every dollar you kill by buying something you're going to throw out in 3 months is money that could be making interest and dividends for you for the rest of your life. Think about that.
Totally agree. Or you can invest in yourself, educate yourself,
The
learn a
long-
new
the
skill.
longer you can live like a student, the better off you're going to be.
So smart. How about the one that got away? What was the investment on Shark Tank that just you think about it and it's painful?
You know, the crazy thing is, once you shut off and you go out and you're done with it, you don't know or pay attention to it, you know? Unless they do an update on the show, I have no idea.
I don't believe there is any that get away from any of us, because an investment with a shark is like the perfect marriage. You know, something that Mark is very successful in doesn't mean that I would be successful in, because you look at Lori, she buys the stupidest things in history on the show, but she did, I think, 70 million with a little stupid looking sponge. She did 6 million with a little thing you put in your eyeglasses here. I would have never been able to do that because I just didn't see the
she's got the
vision.
plan.
That sponge is amazing,
It
by
is.
the way.
It
I've
is.
got one in my kitchen and I
know,
love it.
and that's why I hate Lori. Yeah.
Are there any products, speaking of sponges, are there any products that you guys have invested in on the show that now are a part of your everyday lives?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, plenty.
Like what?
Bombas, my Bombas socks, I wear them all the time. I have this weighted vest, my Titan vest. I use that all the time.
Echo Valley meats, I give out for gifts for everybody. Oh my gosh, the Q-Flex that I use to scratch my back, that's in my office. I mean, I use it. If I
my
invest
beef
in
jerky.
dude wipes, I mean, they're in my bathroom now because
Yeah.
I'm a dude. I mean, you name it, I do.
Yeah, I use
Kevin.
almost all of my products. Yeah.
Are there any products you want to plug?
I've got a whole refrigerator full of wicked good cupcakes here. Anybody who comes to my office knows about that thing and asks for one. Every flavor we make sitting right in the fridge.
I hate to admit it,
660 calories. I can't lose any weight anymore. That's the
full
problem.
of those cupcakes too. He makes the best gluten-free cupcakes ever. I don't want to give Kevin a compliment, but these cupcakes are amazing.
That's kind of the perfect segue to my next question, because I was wondering if you guys work out. You all do?
Like in the gym?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what can you bench?
Bench? I haven't tried to bench in a while because of my shoulders, but last time I really went hard for it, I hit 300.
300.
Yeah.
I used to do that when I was a kid. Now I'm not trying to prove anything to anybody, so I do about 150 and high reps.
Kevin?
I do 350 calories on a Precor bike while I'm watching Asian bond market news in the morning at 6 o'clock. And
Yeah,
then
and
I do a
actually-
bunch of yoga for half an hour. And I try and walk 12,000 steps before I start drinking my own O'Leary wine at about 8 o'clock at night.
How do you track your steps, Kevin? What are you wearing on your wrist or your phone?
I'm covered in all kinds of electronics that track my steps. I don't want to give them free advertising because I don't own their company. But I
Okay.
use two different devices. One that tracks my sleep and one that watches my steps. And I really think these things are good because what I've learned is if you eat really late at night and you drink a lot of wine, you don't sleep very well. So I've really cut back. I'm trying
That's why
to.
I look like a vampire on the show.
How much sleep do all of you get?
Probably 5-6 hours.
Yeah, I get about 4. Kevin?
I'm getting about 5
Kevin?
hours on average a night. That's it. And I try and snooze in the limo on the way to the set every day for 20 minutes.
Yeah, we could tell.
This is where this show gets really exciting because we're about to get down to business.
Yes, exactly. It's a power hour.
Hi. Rebecca Jarvis.
Awesome work.
And
this guy.
By the way, Mark Cuban, this is exciting to have everybody here and to cross over.
Mark's head is just slightly cut off from the camera, which is
Just bend down. Let's all duck.
This is a good start. This is a good start because Mark told me off camera that he was game for anything.
Good.
So the first thing will be bending down to be on camera.
This is my little sorority look.
Argentine tango out in the hallway.
Amazing.
Dancing?
No, I didn't say that you can't dance.
Dancing, actually. We just need to let you free.
37 hours to go, my friends. So let's do this. Let's get to
I need
Rebecca
to stick
Jarvis
around.
and Mark Cuban next.
Thanks,